Good evening, everyone. So we are ending day 2 of our Know Your Sugars challenge. So the challenge for today was to have at least one snack that had no added sugar. So we're only at 8:30, so if that hasn't happened for you yet, maybe your evening snack will have no added sugar. So my afternoon snack was no added sugar. I had an apple and cashew butter, and then instead of my regular sweetened latte, I had a licorice tea instead. And I have to say I'm pretty proud of myself because I do really enjoy that afternoon latte. So I certainly hope that you had fun with that challenge and that you were able to commit to it. And if not, that's okay. Again, the idea of this challenge is just to learn where sugars are, not so much to avoid all sugars. It's just to give you an idea of where sugars are coming from in our diet. That's all it is. So it's more so fun. Keep it pretty light. But if you were able to have a snack today that didn't have any sugar in it, that is amazing, or no added sugar, I should say. So today I wanted to talk about sugar found in our beverages. And the reason that I thought that this would be a really important video is because in Canada, most of our sugar intake is found in our beverages. So it's really important that we figure out what's going on here and how we can make sure that we are avoiding added sugars in our beverages, at least most of the time. Because we certainly don't want to reach our 50 grams per day of added sugar by sweetened beverages. That's no fun. There's better ways of using our intake of our sugars. So I'm just going to sort of give you an idea of what's going on in this case. Now remember, what are the problems with added sugars? Just to go back to some of the videos I've been doing, added sugars are pretty harmful to us. The first reason is because added sugars are related to our increased risk for overweight and obesity, which is directly linked to diabetes and heart disease. So that's the problem in the first place. Added sugars are also related to increased triglyceride levels. Triglyceride levels is the fat that's moving around our bloodstream. Triglycerides are related to plaque buildup on the arteries, which is related to inflammation. And as I've said before, the inflammation that is kind of constant or low grade or chronic is related to a lot of Sorry, I just moved where I'm at. Maybe this will help me here. I'm just closer to the router. But yeah, a lot, or the sugar that we're having or sugar that we're eating or drinking is related to inflammation, which is a cause of a lot of our illnesses. So it's just really important that we watch our sugar intake overall. So beverages is our main source of sugar intake in Canada. So for example, we can have, or we can safely have up to 50 grams per day. So some of the beverages that we're seeing, I'm going to grab some of them because I had to just sort of quickly move where I was. So just give me 1 second there. I'm just grabbing my props. Sorry. All right. So I'm choosing some of the beverages that I really like. I'm just going to show you where we're getting sugar. So for example, I've got Propeller ginger beer. I really like this, but in the whole bottle of the Propeller ginger beer, we are getting 40 grams of sugar. That literally leaves us with 10 grams for the rest of the day. Personally, as much as I like this, and I do find this is a nice treat, I prefer to have a dessert or something after dinner as opposed to this. I just find it to be much more satisfying. But it's an option, and just so you're aware that there's quite a bit of sugar in this. That's not abnormal. We can see quite a bit of sugar in cans of pop, in sodas, and all that kind of stuff. So this is another beverage I really like too. Again, keeping in mind that there's quite a bit of added sugar, so I don't drink it a whole lot. It's a treat once in a while. But when I drink this, Now 1 cup, mind you, we want to assume that the whole bottle is going to be what's on the nutrition fact table. That's not always the case. In this case, the bottle is 473 milliliters, but the nutrition fact table is actually only for 1 cup. So in 1 cup of this, I'm getting 20 grams of sugar. If I drink the whole bottle, I'm getting 40 grams. There's the same amount of sugar in both, right? It just doesn't tell you that right on it. This is an interesting one. I like this beverage because it's undiluted. There is no added sugar in this. The ingredient list is literally 100% tart cherry juice from juice. There's no added sugar in this. So this is a really great option, actually. There's 10 grams of sugar per 1/2 a cup. You're going to dilute it to a full cup. There's 10 grams of sugar. You might add a little bit of your own sweetener, but this is a really great option. By the way, just to keep that in mind. Going back to this guy that I've showed you already in the past, yesterday, I should say. This little guy, often given to our kids, unfortunately. It has 20 grams of sugar per container. And it's all added. This sugar added in this one is, again, sugar, glucose, fructose, and then concentrated juices. Not a great option. You can see where I'm getting at here. It's very easy to meet your entire day's recommendation in just opening a bottle of pop or a can of pop. You know, it doesn't get better. Sports drinks have, you know, up to 13 teaspoons. Lattes have up to 17 teaspoons of added sugar. There's quite a lot of added sugar. So then the question is, well, if I'm avoiding added sugars in my beverages, what am I going to drink instead? Because we all enjoy beverages, and I get that for sure. So first of all, if you're thirsty, number one, or if you're craving sugar, or if you're craving a drink, number one, drink water. You're probably just thirsty. So then some of you might think, oh, I don't really like to drink water. First of all, totally understood. Water is something you have to get used to. But trust me, once you get used to drinking water, you're not going to go back. Once you get used to that craving of really amazing cold or warm water, you're not going to want to go back. In the meantime, put lemon in your water or cucumber or mint, anything to make that water taste delicious, because water is awesome. Okay, well, Christopher, maybe you could do carbonated water with frozen berries or carbonated water with mint and lemon. Or if you really need to, maybe you can add a little bit of sugar to your own beverage. So, for example, you could make sparkling water with mint and a little bit of sugar and lemon. Just saying, just as an option for something that's better than this. Because, Christopher, I know that you really enjoy your Propeller ginger beer, which is fair enough. I understand. So sparkling water, plain water with added mint, cucumber, lemon, anything at all. Could be, again, sparkling, might help for that craving of the bubbly, if you will. Warm water is my fave, says Stephanie. I agree with you. I find that warm water is actually easier to drink than really cold water. Kombucha is a really great choice as well, because any of the added sugar, most of the added sugar is actually fermented. Kombucha is a really fantastic option for a nice bubbly drink that's not pop. Kombucha, there's many, many different types on the market. You might find the one that's best for you. Some of it can sort of have a vinegary flavor where it's fermented, but there are some really fantastic options. My favorite, I'll actually grab my water bottle that I'm using right now. 1 second. Just a little shout out to Goodmore here. This is actually filled with water, but Goodmore kombucha is awesome. It's fabulous. So if you're looking for one, another one, yeah, maple syrup, lemon, and water. There's so many different options to how you can make water flavorful without having 40 grams of sugar. I promise you that. Now, we're getting into the holidays, so what about holiday drinks as well? So we're sort of thinking, in the holidays, we're thinking warmth. There's probably some alcohol intake, I'm assuming, for a lot of us anyways. Now, coolers are going to be really high in sugar. Beers quite high in sugar. Sweet wines are really high in sugar. So what can we do instead? So you can do sort of an alcohol with sparkling water. is a really good option, even with a lemon or a lime in it. So rum, gin, rye with sparkling water, or on the rocks, if you will. Or you can, again, add bitters to it. You can add lemon or anything you want to it. So that's a really good option most of the time. Again, when I say, you know, added sugars are bad, they're not always bad, but if you're having 4 beer, that's a lot of sugar. You know, it adds up really, really quickly. Other things that I really like to do would be, well, first of all, I love tea. So this is actually, I'm a big fan of licorice tea. This is a North Mountain tea. I love this one. This is made with ribose, licorice root, orange peel, cloves, and cardamom. What a fantastic option in the evening. A really nice, warm, sweet tea. You can also get chocolate flavored teas. You can get chai flavored teas. You can have any tea that you like. And if you wanted to add a little tiny bit of sweetener, that's fine. You're still not meeting the amount of sugar that is found in a drink. And again, I love Terra Beata products. I'm just using them as an example because that's what I had at my house. That's all. They're still quite high in sugar, but this might be the one I'd prefer to show. Not a great option because all of the sugars are added. Terra Beata, I'll give you props here because about half of the sugar in this is actually found naturally from the fruit. So they're a much better option for sure. Hot cocoa. So if you bought like packaged Nestle hot chocolate, you're getting up to 23 plus grams of sugar. If you wanted to make a hot cocoa made with, for example, this guy here, we have Camino cocoa. There's no sugar in this at all. You might add a little bit of raw cane sugar or a little bit of honey. You might make this out of unsweetened almond milk or coconut milk. You can make this delicious, and it doesn't have to have 23 grams of sugar. So there's many ways of getting around having almost your entire day's recommendations for sugar intake in the form of one pop or one juice pack. There's lots of things you can do there. So think flavored water, think mint, cucumber, lemon. You can even think for hot drinks, you could think chai or cloves and cinnamon and nutmeg. There's really no ending. Or really nice hot flavored delicious teas. There's even candy cane teas on the market that aren't super high in sugar, but they've got the flavor in there. It is a little bit about adjusting your taste buds. I will say that for sure. So a lot of the reducing the sugar intake in terms of beverages especially is about changing the taste buds and getting used to new things. This is about getting used to new things and changing old habits. If you for years and years you've had Nestle hot chocolate every single night and now you're trying to switch to this, give it some time. You'll get there for sure. There's no doubt about that. So this is my challenge for you tomorrow. Tomorrow you're just going to pay attention to how much sugar you're intaking through beverages, through liquids. That's it. I'm not asking you to not drink them. I just want you to pay attention to how much. You might count it, but not really a big deal. Remember, we shouldn't be going over 50 grams of added sugar per day. Yeah, so that's the challenge for tomorrow. And I'm going to be in on this challenge too. In fact, tomorrow night when I do the 3rd video, I will tell you how much sugar I ended up drinking because I am super not sugar-free. I've never pretended I was. I had a cider today. I don't, you know, like, but I'm trying. We're all trying. We're all doing our best. So if you guys have any questions about anything that I've said today, I hope that it was helpful for you. And if you don't have any questions or if you want to comment later on, that's perfectly fine. Thanks again for watching. I'm sorry that it cut out earlier, and I'm glad that that hasn't happened since. So once again, thank you for joining me on this challenge. Cider is awesome. Yes, Sean, I absolutely agree with you. I went to Unchained with my friend after work today. It was nice. I just had one. Actually, you know what? I mixed my cider, 50-50 cider and kombucha. How about that? Ways to decrease your sugar intake right there, folks. You don't have to go sugar-free. No one's asking that. But watch your sugar. Now, Diana, that's my mom, I'm not going to lie. You're welcome, Christopher. She asked about diet drinks. I sort of mentioned the idea of maybe avoiding sugar substitutes when possible. There's still a lot of research being done on sugar substitutes. What we do know is that they do have an effect on our microflora. So they do have an effect on our gut bacteria and our healthy gut bacteria. So in saying that, I would say stick to flavored Sparkling water instead. Yeah, I did actually combine cider and kombucha. Apparently, it's not normal to do that at Unchained. And when I asked for it, they were like, "What?" And I thought it was normal. I don't know. I'm just weird, I guess. But it was delicious, and I'm absolutely going to do that again. And I recommend that for everyone. Yeah, so any other questions before I let you guys go for the evening? Again, thanks so much for watching, and I certainly hope, as usual, that you've learned something. And for tomorrow, let's all just watch the amount of sugar we're taking in through beverages, and just to be aware of that. And I'm definitely interested to see how that goes for everyone. So thanks again for tuning in. You guys are fabulous. And if you're missing it, if you watch the replay, and if you have any questions or comments, by all means, let me know. I'm usually on my computer around it, so I'm happy to message you guys later. Thanks again. Have a wonderful evening, and eat well, Halifax.